Hey church, Alicia here. Have you ever thought about how you would act if your favorite worship leader, pastor, speaker, singer, athlete, theologian decided to come over to your home? I think if any of my favorite worship leaders said to each other, hey, let's go visit Alicia, I would probably freak out. What would you do? Some of us would panic, clean, and get all dressed up, would completely break down, fall to the floor, stare off into space while breathing into a small paper bag. But what happens when they show up? We had worship artist Phil Wickham here at our church last May. And honestly, I just wanted to sit with him in the green room and pick his brain. He's a brilliant songwriter, he's a talented musician and a phenomenal vocalist, but also a heart for Jesus. Honestly, I probably would have stumbled over my words, which always happens, and say something stupid and be embarrassed. I've done it many times. Shoot, I do it in normal conversations every day. But what if Jesus came to your house? In complete human flesh, Jesus. What would you do? Let's read about Jesus visiting Martha and Mary in Luke 10:38-42. Jesus and the disciples continued on their journey. They came to a village where a woman welcomed Jesus into her home. Her name was Martha, and she had a sister named Mary. Mary sat down attentively before the Master, absorbing every revelation he shared. But Martha became exasperated by finishing the numerous household chores in preparation for her guests. So she interrupted Jesus and said, Lord, don't you think it's unfair that my sister left me to do all the work by myself? You should tell her to get up and help me. The Lord answered her, Martha, my beloved Martha, why are you upset and troubled, pulled away by all these many distractions? Are they really that important? Mary has discovered the one thing most important by choosing to sit at my feet. She is undistracted, and I won't take this privilege from her. You see, Martha got busy, worried about how the house looked, preparing a feast. Do you know any Marthas in your life? Are you a Martha? Yet Mary sat and listened. She loved him enough to just sit and listen. She chose the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. Do you know any Marys in your life? Are you a Mary? Pastor and author Eric Gilmore said, Martha chose occupation for the Lord instead of preoccupation with the Lord. A lot of us are preoccupied with everything that's going around us, yet we forget the one that we should be focused on. Martha Kilpatrick, she's also an author, and she said, Jesus stopped at Bethany one day, and Martha bustled to fix his lunch and make him comfortable. She chose to relate to his humanity. Martha would feed him. Yet Mary stilled herself in homage before him. She chose to relate to his divinity. Mary would feed on him. I would assume that most of us would be Martha in this situation, trying to make everything just perfect. But when we are wrapped up in another area, we tend to miss out. I don't want to miss out. Now, that doesn't mean we have an excuse to be lazy, but we do have a choice on what and who our focus is. Martha could have easily prepared the food while sitting and listening to Jesus at the same time. What if this was her only opportunity to have the presence of Jesus right there in front of her? We must give our full attention to our time with Jesus. He's not just some background noise while we're getting ready or doing chores. He's worth more than that. We must give him all of our time.